Leeds 0, Norwich 0. That is it. Full time. Here is my match reaction for the Leeds Norwich semi-final. First leg for the playoffs. Now, a very interesting game, let's be honest. A cagey affair, very tactical, and there's a little bit to talk about here. Probably not the most exciting game, but still, smash the like button and subscribe before we get into this. Now, what were my early thoughts? Going into the game, I spoke about how I thought Leeds would really come out with a lot of energy, and it didn't play out like that. For the first 10 minutes, the fans were really, really loud, and you could see it really drove Norwich through, and they were pressing from the get-go, putting pressure on Meslier, and I think that's my little thing where I'm a little bit annoyed at Norwich. Now, I thought, personally, Leeds were there for the taking in that first half for definite. Meslier looked like he was really struggling. Ampadu a couple of times, slow on the ball. Players kind of in and out and trying to play out from the back. If Norwich had just been a little bit more brave and a bit more grit and kind of determination to really drive that team up. But don't get me wrong, Norwich played well. They kind of did exactly what we expected them to do. Kind of get all men behind the ball, try and beat Leeds on the counter. But they kind of really struggled to get through Leeds, if I'm honest. But same goes for Leeds. Leeds couldn't get through that low block that we saw. We saw Josh Sargent with the only man up top for Norwich at times, and every single player behind the ball. And then players like Sainz who tried to drive with the ball. It was good to see Rowe back in the team, but Sainz had moments, but Rowe for me didn't really do enough, and I know it's probably a lot to ask from him, especially considering it's his first game in so long. Sargent missed a massive chance, that header in the first half. I know Byram gives him a little bit of a push, but I still think Sargent should have scored that goal. It wasn't enough of a push really to put it wide, and he should at least have hit the target. But overall, a bit of a dull game, let's be honest. As I said, it's tactically both sides kind of a little bit nervy, and you kind of get that a lot of the time in these first legs in these kind of games, where they kind of both sides don't want to lose, and kind of get it from both sides. But I think Norwich have got to use the fact that they're at home and use the fans and kind of drive in, and with the form and things, kind of really go at Leeds, and especially because Leeds' last performance was absolutely dreadful against Southampton. I thought kind of Norwich would go for it, but yeah, I can't complain. It's a good result for both sides, really, but I just worry for Norwich going in 0-0 and going to Elland Road with that Leeds team, and kind of Leeds, I think in that second game will kind of take off the leash, kind of take off the safety, take off the handbrake, and players will be going for it. But I thought they did really well to keep Gnonto quiet and to keep Somerville quiet. But I do want to talk about a challenge on Gnonto. In the first half, I do think they deserved the penalty. Now, I've watched it back many a time, and I know people will say you should be given the benefit of the doubt to the defender. But every time I watch it, I can't see how it isn't a penalty. First of all, I think it's an awful call from the referee not even to give a foul, but it's a really awkward one. It's right on the line, and I think the challenge, yes, the contact begins, but it's the way he's going towards goal. I think it's right on the line. I personally think it's a penalty, if I'm honest, and I think that would really have affected the game because that was extremely early on. But I do worry for Meslier. I thought he looked really, really, really poor in this game, and I thought Norwich would have done more with that, and I know I briefly touched on it, but I just thought maybe that press could have been a bit more relentless, and as I said, a little bit more brave kind of from that Norwich side. But Wagner's men, they played well. They did a job, and they've got that clean sheet and take it now to Elland Road. But I just think it's Leeds to win now. Personally, that's my personal thoughts. Let me know down in the comment section below your thoughts on the game. There wasn't really any standout players for me. I thought Kamara played well in that Leeds midfield, kind of moving the ball, but sometimes he was a little bit slow on it. But I thought he had overall an okay game. Bar that, I can't really think of anyone in the game that really stood out for me. I thought Byram had a good game, but yeah, not really anybody massively that I can kind of give a big thumbs up to. I think Byram did well though to kind of keep what's his name, Gnonto quiet, and I think Stacey kept Somerville quiet, but again, it's just a really difficult one to talk about games when they're like that. But 0-0, as I said, were Leeds robbed though? Let me know down in the comment section below. I personally think Leeds were robbed with that penalty. I think they deserved the penalty. And that's just my personal opinion. I know Norwich fans won't like me for that, but I can't wait for the second leg. I will be doing a reaction, don't you worry. I think it's in Leeds' hands now. But as I said, let me know down in the comment section below. Thank you for watching. Apologies, there's not too much to dissect from this game. It's a little bit frustrating, but yeah, thank you for watching. BucketHatSam over and out. Peace.